And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.
Hey everyone and welcome. Hope everyone had a good Christmas. Hope you saw your family and they had a great time as well. Well, I've found an article. I don't want to get too angry and miserable on Boxing Day, so I thought I'd have a look for something that's a little bit more funny. So I found this. This is an article in the BBC, a fluff job, and it's in regards to one of the biggest hypocrites on the planet. You might be able to guess who he is. Drives a Formula 1 car. That's a hint. Wears political statements on his t-shirts. Well, it seems that because Lewis the hypocrite has been going all climate, virtue signalling, he's been getting a bit of stick, hasn't he? Because, obviously, he's one of the least climate-aware people on the planet. Well, the BBC have decided they're going to try and big him up. And how are they going to big him up? Well, they found an Extreme E. Extreme E, that doesn't sound dodgy, does it? An Extreme E electric off-road vehicle competition. Now, the article itself, you'll see what I mean about them fluff jobbing. Extreme E, Lewis Hamilton helping make racing environmentally friendly. Yep, you heard that right. Environmentally friendly. This guy's farts are probably more carbon than we put out on a yearly basis. Lewis Hamilton isn't just the world's most successful most successful Formula 1 driver ever. See what I mean? Fluff. He's also a key backer of a new off-road electric vehicle racing series called Extreme E. Absolutely stupid name in my opinion. The plan is that the superpowered electric cars will race in some of the most remote locations on Earth in an effort, the organisers say, to promote sustainability and encourage the take-up of electric vehicles, because watching electric vehicles race across a desert is perfect reason for you to go out and get your run to the school and the shops vehicle, isn't it? Jesus. It's more virtue signalling, isn't it? Let's have a listen to a bit of the video, shall we, and dissect it.
This is the latest motorsport series, Extreme E. Yep, these are electric cars.
I wonder where the charge points are in a desert.
Lewis Hamilton has just set up his own team.
Has he really? Stunning and brave, Lewis. Stunning and brave. Virtue.
The cars are designed by a Formula 1 design guru, and they deliver the equivalent of 550 bhp.
For about 20 minutes and then they run out of juice.
They'll be racing in some of the most extreme environments on Earth.
No, here we go. The man himself from his luxury apartment.
Extreme E, what brought my attention to Extreme E is
that Twitter, the horrible twatterers on Twitter, were being mean and miserable to me over my carbon fart print. So I had to find something to virtue signal about.
The great places that it's going to go to and raising awareness for the real climate issues. We've got some serious challenges up ahead of us. The direction we are going as a human race is not good, and yes, there are.
I mean, let's have a look at what sort of carbon footprint Mr. Hamilton's got, shall we? First off, ridiculous sunglasses, Lewis. You look like a prat. Look like you got 2 televisions attached to your face. Well, this is a list of just the cars that Lewis owns. Are we ready for this one? These are just the vehicles that he drives around. He's got a McLaren P1. He's got a 1966 Shelby Cobra 427. Beautiful car. A Ferrari LaFerrari. What is it about having uber amounts of money that turns your wardrobe into knob otter? A Mercedes Maybach. See what I mean, everyone? Look at the wardrobe on that. Lewis, you look like a womble. What is it? Underground, overground, Lewis is free. A Pagani Zonda, an AMG GTR, a Ferrari 590 GTO, and a 599 Aperta. Oh, and another Maybach, an S600 this time, an AMG G63, an SLS AMG, a Mustang GT500, and piece de resistance, a Mercedes AMG Project 1. Now, this is just the vehicles, everyone. Just the vehicles. Now, he used to own a private jet as well, but he sold that because, guess why? He's become aware of the climate. But he still owns all the cars. And he still lives in massive houses all over the world. We've got this one here is a luxury mansion in London. Does this look like it's carbon friendly, by the way? These properties? No? What about the vehicles? Do you think they were? No? Neither do I. So, Prime example of another hypocrite, wouldn't you agree? That's not to mention the luxury yacht. Look at this.
Potential changes, you know, the government saying that only electric cars, but that fixes, perhaps whilst that fixes one problem, another problem pops up.
And that other problem is people like you, Lewis, hiding away from in little tax havens so that you don't have to pay tax on your uber millions, which then doesn't go into the said same governments that you're now knocking to help provide for these climate schemes you're mentioning. But that's not in your forte, is it, Lewis? You just want to hide behind your millions in your big mansions and preach down at everybody else that you're virtuous and more morally supreme than everybody else. You're not fooling anyone. He's not fooling anyone, is he, everyone?
You know, I'm trying to learn as much as I can with EV technology, which I think Extreme E will help develop, but that I don't think is the answer to the whole issue that we have.
At this point, everyone, I'd like to point out that this man's surrounded by carbon. The top 1% of people in the world create over 50% of the carbon, if you are to believe the climate change ideology. And I'll call it an ideology because it is. So his words and his actions do very little to offset what he's pumping out as part of his job, which makes him an absolute laughingstock in my opinion. He is the ultimate in hypocrites. I tell you what, Lewis, if you really, really, really want to improve climate, quit your job, throw all of your stuff away, give all of your money away, and live in a tree for a year. Then maybe, us poorer folk that don't get the ability to live behind your millions in your tax haven might actually start listening to you. But I doubt it.
So the idea is to show just how powerful electric vehicles can be, and to raise environmental awareness by racing them in places that have already been affected by climate issues.
Virtue signal number 2. If they've had climate issues, I'm sure rallying vehicles through them is going to do them the world of good.
So the series will be going to Greenland, to the Amazon, and to the deserts of Saudi Arabia.
My feelings exactly, Mr. Cabell. No. You see what I mean? Absolute hypocrite. Stupid idea. Electric cars rallied across climate change areas. Ridiculous.
Extreme E is also billing itself as the world's first gender equal motorsport platform. So 4 teams, each with 2 drivers. You guessed it, 1 male, 1 female.
Is it gender equal if you have to have a female? Is it gender equal if you have to have a male? Shouldn't it be on, are you good enough to do this? Because that's what I think it is. So in my opinion, this makes this whole event a virtue signal extraordinaire. A way for rich people to be able to virtue that they're not actually a massive carbon footprint, that they can offset it by just doing a few nice things while hiding away in the tax havens and not contributing to the things that they're actually saying that everybody needs to do, i.e. we need to change, the governments need to change for climate. Well, if you put your money in where your mouth was, maybe something could be done about climate, but you won't do that, will you, Lewis? You'll just virtue signal from your little soapbox in your little Monte Carlo apartment luxury, or on possibly your yacht, and punch down at everybody that doesn't have the ability to do anything about it. Yeah, you know who you're talking about. So shut up, Lewis. You have no say.
The acceleration is totally different.
Now at this point, I'd like to point out, I'm not saying that Cristina Gutierrez here isn't adequate for the job and that she's just a box ticker. I'm not saying that at all. She might be well worth the job and is bloody brilliant. What I am saying is, now her achievements have been whitewashed by this same article and by Lewis as the reason she's there is because she's a female and they have to have a female. You see where I'm going with this? But anyway, I did thought I'd bring you a virtue signal extraordinaire, preaching down from a place that none of us even get to. The carbon footprint Lewis Hamilton pumps out just on his own would probably be about 150 of us minimum for a year. Astronomical and ridiculous. But let me know your opinion, everyone. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the like, comment, subscribe. I hope you had an amazing Christmas day. Stay sane. I'll see you on the next one.